anyone could accept and choose all of it. Because I think about that. I think about whether you have ever been fully seen and fully loved at the same time. And it keeps me up at night. Because you should have been, you should always have been. I keep thinking about what my mom said. Her eyes look kind, and the more I think about it, the more I realize she wasn't just telling me something about you. She was telling me something about myself. She was telling me that the thing I've been looking for, the thing I convinced myself maybe I didn't need, maybe I was fine without. She was telling me it was right there, in your eyes, in the way kindness lives in a person, so genuinely, that a mother who doesn't even know you can see it in a photograph. My mother has known me my whole life. She has watched me love and lose and rebuild. She has watched me become careful when I used to be open, watched me build walls when I used to have doors. And she looked at your picture and she smiled at me the way she smiles when she knows something I don't. And I think what she knows is what I'm slowly learning, that there are people in this world who are worth being open for again, that there are hearts that are worth the risk of yours, that sometimes the universe puts something in front of you, not to confuse you but to remind you of who you were before. You decided to be careful, remind you of what you're actually capable of feeling, remind you that you are not finished, that the story is not over, that something real is still possible. I don't know everything about you. I know that, and I know that there is a whole life in you that I haven't seen yet. Years and memories and moments and feelings that I haven't been given access to. But what I do know is that I want to know it. I want to know the story you tell about the hardest year of your life. I want to know what song you listened to when you were healing from something. I want to know what makes you laugh so hard you can't breathe. I want to know the thing you're most proud of that no one thought to celebrate. I want to know all of it. I want to sit with all of it carefully, like something precious, because you are something precious. Not in the way that means fragile, in the way that means rare. And if you're listening to this right now, if you're here with me in this moment, I want you to do something for me. I want you to let what I'm saying reach the part of you that doesn't usually get to hear this, the part that doesn't believe it, the part that has been told, maybe directly, maybe just by life, that you are too much or not enough, or somewhere in between where you don't quite fit. I want to speak directly to that part. I want that part of you to hear me clearly. You are not too much. You are not enough. You are exactly and precisely what someone has been hoping for. And if no one has said that to you in a long time, or ever, then let me say it. Let me be the voice that says it. Because last night, my mom looked at your picture, and she said her eyes look kind, and she looked at me the way she looks when she's telling me something important, without saying it directly. And I knew in that moment that I am not going to keep this inside anymore. I am done being careful with this. I am done holding it at a distance to protect myself from it. Because some things are worth every risk. Some people are worth every wall you have to take down. And I've been thinking about walls, about how we build them, about how they start as protection and slowly become prisons. I built mine brick by brick over years, and I got so good at it that I almost forgot what it felt like to stand somewhere open, somewhere exposed, somewhere real. I got comfortable in the construction. I learned how to smile in a way that looked like openness, but wasn't. I learned how to be present in a room and still be completely unavailable. I learned how to give people just enough of me that they felt close, without ever actually letting anyone close enough to matter. And for a while I told myself that was wisdom. I told myself that was growth. But the truth, the honest, uncomfortable truth, is that it was fear. Just fear with better architecture. And then you happened. Not all at once, not in some dramatic moment where the music swells and everything becomes clear. It happened the way real things happen, slowly, quietly, in the background of ordinary moments. You crept into the spaces between my thoughts. You became the unexpected name that appeared in my mind when nothing was asking me to think of you, and I would catch myself and almost laugh because I didn't invite you in. I didn't open a door. You just somehow found a window I forgot to close, and you climbed through it like you belonged there, and the terrifying thing, the thing that kept me awake more than I want to admit, is that you did. You belonged there, you fit in a space I didn't even know existed until you were standing in it. I want to tell you about a specific night. I don't want to give you something vague and poetic. I want to give you something real. There was a night not long ago when everything felt heavy. Not dramatically heavy. Not the kind of heavy that makes for a good story. Just the quiet, grinding kind of heavy that comes from carrying too much for too long, without letting anyone help you carry it. I was sitting alone, and the room was too quiet, and I was too tired to sleep, and too awake to rest. And I picked up my phone the way you do when you don't know what you're looking for, but you're looking for something. And I saw something of yours, something small, something that wasn't even meant to be significant. And it made me smile. Not a performance of a smile, a real one, the kind that happens before your brain catches up, the kind that lives for just a second before self-consciousness comes in and tries to take it away. And in that second before self-consciousness arrived, I felt something lift, just slightly, just enough. And I thought, this person has no idea. She has no idea that in this quiet room, on this heavy night, she just made something lighter. She has no idea what she just did. And that's what I keep coming back to. That's the thing about you that I cannot stop turning over in my hands, like something I'm trying to understand. You give without knowing you're giving. You affect people without trying to affect them. There is something in you that reaches out naturally, organically, without effort or intention, and lands softly in places that needed something soft. And that is not a small thing. That is one of the most significant things a human being can be. And I don't know if anyone has ever explained to you what a gift that is. Not to you. To everyone around you. To me, I want to talk about the way I imagine things. Because I think you should know. I think you should know the kind of thoughts that find me when I'm not guarding against them. I imagine walking somewhere with you. Nothing special, nothing staged. Just somewhere ordinary. A street. A market. Somewhere with noise and color and the smell of something good cooking nearby. And in this picture, I'm not performing anything. I'm not being anything for anyone. I'm just walking next to you and talking about nothing and everything at the same time. The way you can only talk with someone when you're genuinely comfortable. When you've stopped auditioning and started just being. And in that picture, I feel something I can only describe as rest. Not boredom, rest. The deep kind. The kind that comes not from doing nothing but from being somewhere completely right. I imagine the way you would tell a story. I imagine that you're the kind of person who gets animated when something excites you, who uses your hands a little, whose eyes do something particular when you're about to get to the part that really matters. I imagine that you laugh at your own jokes sometimes before you finish them, and that it's completely disarming. I imagine that you're thoughtful in the way that means you actually think, that you don't just produce opinions, but that you sit with things, turn them over, consider them from different angles before you decide what you believe. I imagine that you are the kind of person who remembers what someone told them 3 conversations ago, who follows up, who actually listened when others were just waiting for their turn to speak. And I think about what it would feel like to be on the receiving end of that kind of attention, that quality of presence.